The future of newspapers is an issue that's challenging media proprietors around the world. Whether it's the increasing flight of readers to new digital platforms and online, or the thorny question of how much they're prepared to pay for the privilege. Fairfax Media boss Brian McCarthy believes that rural and regional papers across Australasia are actually performing pretty well, but concedes it's going to be tough to compete with the array of new mobile media choices and make a dollar. He was in Brisbane last week addressing the Queensland Rural Press Club and later spoke to Landline executive producer Pete Lewis.
Brian McCarthy, you've been particularly bullish about the outlook for rural and regional papers in the Fairfax Group.
I think that's a fair statement. I think not only for rural papers, I think for regional papers as well. I think that they offer a very niche specialist audience, the content they are looking for. It's content that you can't easily procure from other sources. It's content that's about their lives in a very personal way, their businesses, their lives, their kids. So it's really that depth of information they get that I think makes it so valuable to them. So I guess as a general statement, yes, I think the franchises of local, regional, rural media is stronger than it is perhaps for the metropolitan model. I should also say, though, the metropolitan publications are doing an excellent job of positioning themselves in an online way.
Give us a snapshot of the typical rural newspaper reader in 2010.
Well, I think the typical rural newspaper reader in 2010 will be aged anywhere from 30 to 50 is probably a target audience in there. We're finding quite amazingly that there are a lot of young people in the rural industry reading our publications, and it's something we've been working on for the last 5 years or so. So we're delighted about that. I think it's really about the content. Where are you going to get this content from? There is a demand for the content. If our job is to supply it in print or in online or the mobile devices that are emerging almost as we speak.
How confident are you that you can convince enough of those readers to follow your work online and to some of the new mobile platforms? And more particularly, how confident are you that they will be prepared to pay for it?
Well, firstly, the question of how confident am I about their ongoing readership. I think everybody wants information that is relevant to their life. I mean, everybody needs information to conduct their life, so that will never change. It will always be something people want. So if you take that as a given, and it is a given, it's just a matter of the content we supplying satisfy their need, and that's a challenge of all our editorial staff to do that. And then it's a matter of providing it on a platform that they're happy to use. In terms of the monetisation, clearly our print titles are in the main monetised. We do have some free titles, but in the main they're monetised. It's clear to me that unless we get some monetisation for the online or mobile audiences, we do have simply a business model problem, because we have big editorial teams. We need to pay for those editorial teams, so we need to, our quality audience needs to pay for quality content, and it's as simple as that. It's really an economics 1 type discussion.
Now, you've already introduced a $1 a week charge for the farm online service. How's that gone down?
Well, I think there's an interesting question there, because what we're doing there is actually monetising an email service, which is different to farm online. We haven't really taken the full website to monetisation. We've monetised a daily rural email newsletter. And the reality is that we've had take-up around about 1,000 people have chosen to pay for it. From memory, there were a lot more than that, probably 10,000 people getting it free. But I think to monetise that, we've only monetised it in the last month or two. I think to achieve nearly 1,000 in that short space of time reflects what I'm saying, that people will pay for quality content.
Now, some of the mastheads in the group, of course, have certainly got legs. The North Queensland Register's been going 125 years. The Land newspaper in New South Wales rising on a century, and of course the Queensland Country Life has just celebrated its 75th anniversary. How confident are you that they've got staying power well into the future?
I think, I can't talk about centuries, but I can talk about the next 10, 20 years, whatever. And I'm absolutely certain that we will continue to provide the needs of those markets and those audiences for that period of time, without a doubt. And I don't really mind, once we monetise the online and the mobile, whether they migrate to those devices. I'm okay with that. As the NBN rolls out, that may be an end result. But it doesn't matter. The core there is that they are delivery platforms. The real issue is we are providing quality content to a user. And that's what will continue to make our company very successful in the years ahead.
Brian McCarthy, thanks for talking to Landline.
Thanks, Peter.